Hi, Tom Trento here with another United West investigative report, this time exposing a Muslim Brotherhood operative here in the United States, in fact here in Florida, who has connections with the overthrow of Hosni Mubarak, president of Egypt 1 year ago, and with an influence operation going on right now in the state of Florida, targeting some of our top political leaders from the governor on down. And I'll start with this little episode of connecting the dots like we like to do. I'll start in February 2011, 1 year ago. If you remember the so-called Arab Spring, which we all knew was simply a Muslim Brotherhood initiated revolution in the Maghreb, in the Middle East, it started in Tahrir Square in Egypt. And 1 year ago, an individual by the name of Ahmed Bedier, a Muslim and Egyptian, a Floridian, former CARE, Council on American Islamic Relations, former CARE official. Ahmed left CARE when his FBI buddies told him that the FBI was no longer going to dance and go along with CARE's activities a few years ago. He left CARE and formed a front organization called United Voices. And that's his Muslim Brotherhood entity to run influence operations on political leaders and others in the state of Florida. Well, Ahmed, 1 year ago, February 2011, was in Tahrir Square, waving flags, posing with the Egyptian military and calling for the overthrow of Mubarak in a display of pride and accomplishment by getting rid of Mubarak and bringing in the Muslim Brotherhood. Well, let's go to 1 year later today. We know today the Muslim Brotherhood runs Egypt. Their desire is the implementation of Sharia law, ultimately the caliphate. We know this by their own words. But right now, Mr. Bedier is having Muslim Day on February 28th at Tallahassee, Florida. And here's the investigative component of this piece for everyone to consider. Just a few days ago, our investigative team was standing at the border of the Gaza Strip and the Israeli city of Sderot. And we were looking into the Gaza Strip. A day later, missiles were flying over where we would have been standing, landing in the town of Sderot. Well, folks had to go into bomb shelters. The individuals or the organization firing the missiles obviously are the Hamas. They're the ones who are the political, they have political control of the Gaza Strip. The Hamas right now is a Muslim brother, has always been, a Muslim brother creation and entity. They are duly connected as we speak in February 2012 with Egypt, and Egypt is supplying arms and equipment through tunnels and through other subversive ways to the Hamas. And the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt wants the Hamas to fire missiles into Israel. So we have Ahmed Bedier, a supporter of the Muslim Brotherhood's control of Egypt, an individual who refuses to condemn Hamas or Hezbollah, specifically will not condemn Hamas. He supports Hamas, yet he's at the state capitol in Florida every year with political leaders cheering him on in his work of bringing Islam to America and helping Muslims understand the American system. This is a scam, folks. Ahmed Bedier is a Muslim brother. He endorses Hamas. Hamas is blowing up Israel, and yet he gets a red carpet treatment in Tallahassee, Florida. Well, it's time that those individuals in Tallahassee who have been buddying up and warming up to Mr. Ahmed Bedier, the head of United Voices, do a little investigative work into his connections with Egypt, his connections with the Muslim Brotherhood, his refusal to condemn a designated terrorist organization, Hamas, his support of Hamas bombing Israel, and call this guy out for what he is. He's a brother, he's a Muslim brother operative. And America needs to know that, and particularly the political leaders of Florida need to know that. And this piece is just the beginning of more detailed work along these lines. But right now, Mr. Bedier We need you to state publicly that you condemn the Hamas, you condemn the Muslim Brotherhood, and you want true democracy, a Jeffersonian democracy for Egypt. And America, as you wait to hear Mr. Bedier condemn the Hamas and condemn the Brotherhood, don't hold your breath, okay? Tom Trento signing off from now, but more to come on Mr. Bedier and his Brotherhood relations and influence operations in the state of Florida.
Look, you may not like what's happening in Iran or Ahmadinejad, but if that's what the people want, well, it's their people, it's their country, it's their right to choose that. In Gaza or in Palestine, they had an election. America didn't like that election. It's not for America to decide who leads Palestine. It's for the Palestinians to decide. And the same thing goes for Tunisia, for Egypt, for Yemen, for Jordan. The people have to choose their own leadership. And I think that people in Egypt right now are speaking loud and clear.